Right. Dearest listeners,
Book babes and book bros.
welcome to Book Babble. I'm Rachel,
And I'm Tanya, and we're the Witlet Women, your hosts for the day.
and today we have Kay Cardella with us, the author of The Blue Rose, in our rapid fire AMA session. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kay Cardella. I'm the author of The Blue Rose is a dark serial unaliving romance where the MMC falls for his next victim.
I just have to say really quickly that I love the cover of your book. It's gorgeous. I love seeing it in person. It's so fun. I love that.
Beautiful.
Um, okay, well, we are so excited to have you on. We're gonna jump into the 5 minute session. I will put 5 minutes on the clock and then we'll get
Okay,
started. Are you ready to babble?
I'm ready.
Awesome. All right.
All right. So, what inspired you to write these stories?
I actually came up with the idea in seventh grade because I was at a charter school called Creative Connections Arts Academy, and they told us where we wanted to be in 20 years. And I was like, I want to write this serial killer romance. But it expanded within the time. So I wrote a little bit. It was a completely different story back then. Still the same premise. Serial killer falls for his next victim. But I wrote it last year and it completely changed into match who I am today.
That's awesome. So, kind of like speaking to that a little bit more, how did you know you wanted to write dark romance in general? Like, what was it in seventh grade that prompted you to do that?
Just been through a lot of trauma as a childhood, and I've always been into horror. Like that was like my comfort as a kid, and still is my comfort today. I just love everything that has to do with the psychological stuff behind it, and especially I've always been fascinated by serial killers, and I've always wanted to I was like, I feel like I could write about one because my brain was like, why did they think how they did? And I was like, let me go figure it out why.
Yeah.
Oh, relatable. I specialize in forensic populations, so it's exciting
I
to
love
read
that.
these novels. So yeah, I really get into it. What's your process for writing? How do you manage just the thoughts in your head and get those on paper?
I get honestly my best thoughts always come when I'm trying to go to sleep at night or like when I'm first waking up or when I'm in the shower and I'm like, oh, I gotta write down this little quote that I just thought of or the next scene that I just thought of. But my editor is really great to help me get that timeline of where I want to go in my book. So I have the beginning, the middle, and the end, mostly the ending, because the filling in part is always the hardest for me because I'm like, okay, now what do I want to do? But once I figure out what I want to do, then it starts flowing really well and it connects all together at the end.
That's a really good process. I feel like so many people have like the best thoughts at night. So, relatable.
Literally, I can't ever
Um,
sleep.
right. So, circling back kind of to the psychological aspects, how do you prep yourself to enter like the darkest parts of your book and still, I don't know, not go down a horrible path in your brain?
Um, I kind of just like what would my character do? Like, because Aster, he's a serial killer, but Serena, she's his next victim. So I have to always differentiate between the two characters, not try to crisscross them, or I have to remember who they are. Because some like, especially with book two right now, I kind of lost who my main character was. So my editor was like, "This doesn't sound like him." I'm like, "You're right, it doesn't." So I have to like it's easier for me. I don't know why it is, but it's like I can go there and then just be like, oh, look, I'm a mom and wife again. And I can just kind of like put that wall between like that. Because it's also kind of like when you're watching a movie, like a scary movie, or like if you're watching a TV show that has to do with it, you're into it. You're like, oh, yeah, that's really cool at the time. But it's like in real life situations,
Yeah.
that's not for me. Because
See,
it's like a fairy tale, it's not reality. So it's like
yeah.
differentiating reality from fantasy.
That's actually a really good way to say that because I feel like I do the same thing when I'm watching TV or reading. Like I'm so zoned in and then all of a sudden I'm just me again.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, this is great. And you're like, but in real life, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so kind of like along that line, because you're talking about all these things and you have to like separate reality from the fantasy, but how do you get to that fantasy? What kind of research do you do, and what does that process look like for you?
Honestly, sometimes I hear a song or I'm watching a show or I'm even reading other books and then new ideas just start popping in my head. Like, oh, I'm gonna go this way with this story, or like, oh, a brand new story comes up, or like real life situations happen where like some other like type of trauma or hurt or things that create new stories in my head. Like my third book that I'll be writing, not the duet, but a third book, something happened in my life where I'm like, I'm gonna turn this situation into this and put all my pain into this. So it's like taking real things and creating something different, kind of like a release in a way too. Putting that trauma into my writing is a way to release everything from having that weight on my shoulders.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds very therapeutic. So I get it. Yeah. So
That's my
last,
the dedication. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it says to everyone who becomes who they were always meant to be in the darkness, because
Yes,
we
I
find
thought it was
ourselves
so
in the
amazing.
darkest times.
that's beautiful.
Thank
Okay, so I'm gonna let the clock run out because we only have 7 seconds left. And I
Poor
wouldn't
thing.
I wouldn't be able to ask my question anyways. Okay. Sorry, that's the loud sound that it makes.
No, you're fine. It's perfect.
All right. So I did want to well, before we get into the rest, so this is the end of the AMA session. Just to all of our listeners and viewers, the full episode will be posted on YouTube and Spotify if you'd like to continue watching.